If you're having problems with stair treads sloping forward or down, you can always raise them with some shims. Now, this isn't going to solve all of your problems because you can actually change the riser height by doing something like this. So, for example, let's say you only have one tread that's sloping, but it's sloping 1/4 of an inch, and the stair riser before it or below it is at 7 inches. It's at 7 inches before you move it, and the next one above it is at 7 inches, and you raise it 1/4 of an inch to make it level, then you're now going to have a 7 1/4 inch riser in there. Now, don't forget, most building codes will allow for 3/8 of an inch variation. That's 3/8 of an inch total in the entire stairway. So you don't get to go 7 3/8 and then 7 3/4. That's not going to cut it with most building departments. Now, the next picture will give you a better idea of what I'm referring to. I didn't have any pictures of the wedges or shims themselves adjusting the treads, but here they are being used to raise the center of a stair stringer to make it flat. And I just cut these out of a 2x4. It's not that hard to do. You can always buy them at most building supply places too. They usually sell them in a little 10 or 15, 20 pack kind of a thing. But they might not be strong enough. Sometimes you're going to need to cut it out of some Douglas fir or some southern pine, something that is going to give you a little more strength that you can actually use to move the stair treads. Most of the ones you're going to find at home improvement centers are going to be made out of cedar or redwood. Now, here is an example of the stairway where you would actually position the wedges. You're going to want to try and position them under the treads, but over the stringers. And you can always place them in any area you need. If you need to put, here we're using 3, but you could equally space 5. You could equally space more if needed. Here's another angle. You can see the wedges there. And, sometimes a picture's worth 1,000 words. So here's another 1,000 words here. Another angle of the stairway to give you a better idea what you will be doing. And of course, last but not least, you will need to remove the wedges. I usually do that by grabbing a utility knife and scoring the bottom of the wedge right up against the riser, base of the riser. Grab a hammer and tap down on the wedge. It usually provides you with a nice clean cut. Now, there is one more thing I need to point out. Once you raise the tread, the areas in between the wedges they could actually, as you step on them, the plywood or the oriented strand board, OSB, could actually flex. So might not be a bad idea to put some, rip a small strip, put it in there. If you got like 1/8 of an inch, you might be able to seal that with some type of adhesive, construction adhesive, or a nice polybutylene caulking, something like that. But again, these areas should be filled because the top of the riser usually supports the bottom of the tread for when people are walking up and down the stairs. So I hope that makes sense. This isn't a fix-all to everything, like I said all the time. Make sure that you check the riser heights and make sure that they are well within accepted building codes. Like I said, 3/8 of an inch is usually the maximum variation most building codes allow. So keep that in mind when you are doing something like this.